Ready, set, here we go. Hey everybody, it's Hambbage, and I am so excited I decided to get you guys all ready to jump for this episode. That's right, we're back and doing some more building in Minecraft. Let's get this slide out of the way and see where we left off for from my side. Wish everybody a wonderful July. It is the 1st of July for me today, for all of us, but you may be watching this on a different date. I don't know. I hope whatever day it is you guys are enjoying, but yeah, it's great to be in the midst of another month of summer. So let's take a quick gander at what we did in the last episode. We were working on these turrets, or a turret, and I think turret is the right word. I don't know if anybody knows like an architectural classification for these little outcroppy things that stick out of castle walls or towers or anything like that. Please feel free to let me know in the comments. Also kind of seems to me like we cleaned everything up, like we were going to have a new mission. You know what? Let's see what we can do. I think it's time to have a little fun. And in today's sense, that means saying hi to S'more. What's up, S'more? Oh, yeah, you're a good kitty. Your flower looks awesome. And Guava, because why not? And the dog's down there saying hi to us. Over here now. Hey, Guava. So, yeah, on second thought, I didn't forget. Let's go see how we do with our carpet today. We can dump this in here. I will drop down by the doggies. Hey, doggies. So I'm not sure exactly what the flow is going to look like here in the next couple days. With it kind of the beginning of the holiday period for anyone not in the United States. Maybe I don't know how widely people are aware or not, but we have a holiday on Sunday, the 4th of July, American Independence Day, and because it's on a Sunday this year, it's kind of throwing everything into a little bit of delightful chaos, we'll call it. There are, when you get a holiday, typically if it's in the middle of a week, for like the banks and the schools and the government and all that kind of stuff, they will, come on, they will just make it the Monday of the week that it falls in. So then you have a real well-defined weekend. Everybody kind of, takes off into that week, and it's pretty well established. But the fact that it's on the weekend has split a lot more people into, do we take off the week before and kind of culminate in the Independence Day stuff, or do we make that the start? So what you kind of get this greater and greater amount of people not working, out having fun, enjoying the holiday as this week goes on. And then likewise, I think, as next week tapers off, there will be lots of people that took a full week off to enjoy with their family or do some traveling or something. But for me, not really. I am going to go out and do some hiking tomorrow, I think, with a friend who's not working on the day, and mentioned that would be fun. Looks like the weather's supposed to be great, so pretty excited about that. But it does, we're going to try to remember to take a thumbnail, because it is not all that great to have. Oh, YouTube constantly highlight our shulker boxes if left to its own devices with shulker boxes. Alright, we need a bunch of white as well. Alright. I'm kind of playing with my finger here to see. Oh, nothing too great. Alright, let's see if this blue is enough, or if the white that we have can eventually be enough. The policing carpet vibe is not there yet. So one of the reasons I didn't just dive right in on the tower today is, man, I had the most garbage night of sleep last night I've had in a long time. Yesterday afternoon and evening was really great. One of my buddies is going to be traveling out of the country for the first time, since pandemic and all that. This coming, leaving today for the coming week and going to get a little vacation. But we wanted to try to get in some disc golf before and see see everybody before the trip, and just knowing it was going to be a good couple weeks probably before everybody got back together again. So went out and did some disc golf, and then got some dinner last night. That was great. But I needed to hit the grocery store on the way home. And that usually works out pretty well. I actually do that, every probably few weeks with these particular friends. We try to get together every week. It doesn't always happen, but getting a chance to hang out, try to do something athletic-ish, and then get some food or something after. So it's a good tradition, I guess, if you can call it that. I don't think it's anything quite that elaborate, but it's a fun thing to do, and it usually leaves you with that kind of like, okay, it's 8 o'clock or something. I'm not not going home, but oh man, also not looking to stay out, or start any kind of big new activity. So great time to go hit the grocery store and just get a few odds and ends if you need them. And that's basically what I was doing: some fruit and produce and all that kind of stuff. So all very welcome and good use of time, I thought. And that it worked out really well. But then I got home and kind of found, all right, now I'm still pretty up, and you get everything put away and kind of reset. I was like 10. I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to sleep. So I ended up getting caught up in just a few games and activities and stuff in the evening, and that took me up till about midnight. No big deal. It was a little later. I don't mind staying up that late. I don't often, especially on weeknights, but whatever. That was fun. So right as I'm about to go to bed, I notice my internet connection goes down, and it's happened 3 times this week, and I don't know what the deal is. Here I am today, and I haven't every middle of the night last night. I'm like, man, I am going to, when this comes back, I'm going to go look up and see if they're like reporting an issue or what the deal is. Each time that it happens again, I'm like, okay, well, there was a problem and now they're doing the maintenance. And starting just after midnight, like literally about 4 minutes after. I mean, I've done enough maintenance work to know that's exactly it. You have the maintenance window starting at midnight, and then it takes you about 5 minutes to have everybody on the conference call and go, okay, pull the trigger. We're dumping everybody that's still up. That fits, and it's. I hope, whatever it is, it's kind of on those like, all right, I hope they got it. I prefer not to keep doing this, but kind of highlighted for me that I really don't sleep as well without some kind of like music or like a white noise video or something like that in the background, especially right now because I've been sleeping so much with the windows open. It's felt so great. So it was a little challenging to fall asleep because all of a sudden I'm laying there and I'm like, man, I really don't have any other options. Like it's internet or it's nothing in turn. I don't like have a back in the day. Okay, well I'll just play some CDs or some tapes or something, or throw in a DVD, and none of that anymore. It's all very dependent. Yeah, why not? Something. I don't know what that. Are those up above sounds? That's all our blue. Now we can just kind of use up whatever white we have left. So again, the hopes here are that did I really keep that unbalanced? I mean, not that it makes a big deal, but that is such a huge perspective-wise. I think it's going to be okay, right? We'll be coming in. It's nice to have the little bit of extra relief, and that kind of fills in the space. So I'm okay with it. But it is a goof. Oops. Unless in the last video I said, oh, we're going to do 2 on this side and 3 on the other side to make it better balanced or something. I reserve that right. Say I told you so. So we should have plenty of white, which should just leave the strip. And if this works the way intended, that should pretty well limit us. We'll still get some pigmen, but should take care of at least the 2 bigger sized lava slimes. And I gotta think that's a pretty good start on our white. But the big it's gonna concentrate them a whole lot until we're done. That's why I'd like to get some of this done here. Where did he just come from? I seem louder today. What? Am I missing something here? Seems like every time I get close to done, food after all that. Kind of terrible. Really terrible. Yeah, I don't know how that volume level is for you guys. I'm just gonna drop it on the system, and I hope proportionally, you know, my voice and the portal will stay pretty even. All stuff I hope to have an improving feel for. So we were talking a little bit about the holiday weekend and you know, schedule and all that kind of stuff, and mainly trying to prepare. Is I don't know exactly what the schedule of videos is going to be. Clearly, this one will be up and available on the 1st of July. As soon as I can get it going, I'm not going to delay anything here. I'll get a video up. It's after that it gets a little more challenging. Is, you know, how regularly can you have videos showing up with any confidence that you'll have enough through, and you're not, you know, my big concern is if the weather goes bad or anything like that, you know, I'm here, and I should be here throughout the day today, which is another reason why. Did I even finish I don't think I finished the night story. Anyway, so let's back up here. The reason why we're not building is because I got a terrible night of sleep last night. The shopping and all that I said after hanging out with friends went well. Got back home, tried to do all this other stuff. The internet went out. I couldn't get to sleep, so I started reading, which is great. I love to read. I like to read a little bit too much. So instead of midnight, it was about 1 when I was like, all right, my eyes are getting sleepy. You know, it's time to turn out the light, roll over, and go to sleep. And I did. A little later than I would have liked. I don't know why that caught on fire. Kind of odd. Unless we've got some lava underneath there. Yeah, this could be. Alright, hold on. Clearly. Is that it? That was all the trouble that we had? It doesn't matter, right? Like, oh, that was a mistake. Now I've got the wrong color blocks, but if we're covering up with carpet. No. Oh. Alright. What's that? Boom. So yeah, finally get to sleep about 1. Go to sleep. Everything's very good as far as I know. You know, deep, nice sleep. I wake up and it was between 2 and 2:30, and just massive clap of thunder, right? Like, whoa, all right. Guess we're having a thunderstorm now. Except then there was nothing. It just went silent. And then I'm kind of laying there like, no rain. This wasn't like a rainy thunderstorm. This was just a huge boom of thunder. And, it like popped me awake enough that I was like, well, what's going on? Are we about to get super thunder or what? Lightning and all that. But there just was nothing to follow up. And then you start kind of wondering, like, did I imagine? Like, was that a dream? Did I? Like, there's no thunderstorm going on. And this was like 20 minutes. I'm laying there like, what? Did I just imagine that thunder? It seemed really loud and really real, but okay. Sure enough, I think I'd like just dozed off again, and then another one, and this is like the empty barrels rolling down the stairs kind of thunder, right? Like just long, low rumbling. So at least it's like, all right, now I know that it's a thunderstorm, and that was at like, I don't know, 2:45, like just enough time for me to appreciate that I'd fallen back asleep again. So okay, that's all good. And again, remember, I'm sleeping with a window open, and I have a ground floor place. So the next thing I know, at 3, there's some talking, and it's like somebody's on a phone call or something. I don't know what was going on, but like it wasn't like animated. It wasn't like drunk people back from the bars or something, all whooping it up, or something. Hey, I've been that guy. I don't get upset when that happens. People are out enjoying themselves, but it didn't have that feel. That wasn't what was going on. It's just, if I had to guess, and it was like, not that I was trying to eavesdrop, but I'm just in a quiet room. And hearing this voice, and it's like just outside. I was like laying there going like, is that even English? It sounded like English, but I couldn't make out any of the words or anything to know, like what's got this person talking on their phone at 3 a.m. You kind of, I don't know about you guys, when I'm up at that kind of time and it's outside my normal zone, I'm sitting there thinking, man, is this like somebody going through cars or something? Is this person up to no good? Not that people can't be out and have a reason, but usually people don't linger at 3 a.m. That's not the time that there's a lot of, hey, I'm just calling to check in, see how you're doing kind of stuff. It's, when you got to be up at that hour, you go about your business and get things done. And didn't really have that feel to it. So I was eventually it just faded off, and that one went away. And the whole time, now I'm like awake, right? Like, what's going on? This off and on thunder every 15 minutes, super loud, prolonged, like this is a massive thunderstorm, and then just nothing for the next 15 minutes until you're back to sleep. And then this random person talking. So, okay, back to sleep, feeling good. And then at there was some other like car door or something that happened along the way. And each time I wake up and I'm like, check the internet. Can I just turn something on that will just drone this out? Like I said, sometimes I like the like a scuba coral reef thing or something. Any of that stuff with the background filler noise, either the noise of nature or whatever, or some soft music or something like that. Whatever can kind of distract me or just fill in that silence and mask the outside sounds a little bit more, so they're not quite as jarring. When you're just in silence, you notice all that stuff. But yeah, I didn't stand a chance. Oh, you're not getting me. And then at 5, I hear this, like, you can tell, I always often joke about the garbage trucks outside. Like, oh, yep, here come the garbage trucks. I can hear them. So I hear this, like, sound of a big truck outside. And I was like, oh, no, because there's there's really only two, maybe three types of big trucks that we get all the way back around where I'm at. The first is the garbage trucks we just talked about. Come on, are you? Those don't come around at 5 a.m. by any means. The least common ones. Oh, that was a mistake. Also, oh no, this way. I hope. Yeah, this way. Um, are moving trucks. You know, people that actually are like moving across country and they'll put their stuff into a big, you know, like the if you ever drive across country, like the Mayflower trucks or whatever, you know, big semi type trucks. Very occasionally they will come in and maneuver their way around to help people move. Well, man, talk about a bad way to either say goodbye to or meet your new neighbors. So that's option two. It wasn't option two either. And the last thing that happens, you know, like maybe twice a year, if there are any paramedic calls, they usually will first respond with a fire truck, and we're fairly close to a fire station, so that's what it was. And it was literally like pulled up, you know, there's my deck, a sidewalk, and some, you know, plantings and stuff, a row of parking spaces, and then kind of the ring drive. And the fire truck was that far away from my window, so I was hearing the engine sound of it, and I'm kind of laying in bed like, okay, I'm awake again. I wonder, that sounds like a fire truck. And that, you know, that always is a little unsettling. Not that I thought it was a fire. There was no siren, nothing, you know, it was just the engine running. They were trying not to be completely obnoxious as they came in, but I'm laying there and I've got a screen window that's about a dozen feet from where these guys are getting out of the truck, and all I hear is non-responsive. You know, in whatever the people are saying to each other. And I was like, oh no, that sounds, you know, it doesn't sound good, right? That's not ideal. What am I doing? I want to check the time. So yeah, they say non-responsive, and you know, makes you know, it's not a good way to wake up. The best of circumstances, much less when you have not really been sleeping very well. We got clippers out there. Do we have a bed? We got a bed. So yeah, I don't do that. You don't have to have a bear arm to get onto the horse once it's tamed. That's just for taming. But you can't have a lead, right? Or you can't, you know, have a golden apple. If you have those, it's going to try to eat them or interact with them. So, a little fun fact there. Okay, so we got to remember we turn between the two mushroom trees. Something kind of like that. I just got to mark it out for the time being. So that, you know, now I'm like, oh man, all right, well, I'm kind of up, and, you know, I'm trying to be too nosy, but I kind of want to just see. I mean, these guys sound like they're right on top of me. Is this like, you know, my neighbor up above me, or what's going on? And then even worse, as I'm kind of, you know, peeking through the blinds and opening up my deck door, which I normally do. You know, if I'm up, 5 is a little earlier. You know, usually about 5:30 I start waking up, and then kind of roll around and don't force things until about 6. Get up and go outside. But usually in that time I'll open up my deck doors and get some of the fresh morning air in. And it's kind of one of those. I don't want to be the nosy neighbor kind of like, ooh, action. Let's go see what's happening and entertain ourselves off other people's misfortune. I didn't want to do that, but I also kind of want to see what's going on. Because I wouldn't say I'm like close friends with any of my neighbors, but I certainly know the people immediately around me well enough. I don't want anything. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, but those would hit particularly hard if there was a medical emergency or something. And at least knowing to the point of being able to then go over and say, hey, is there? Do they need anything? Is there anything that family contact or anything like that? Is there anything you can kind of help be a good neighbor in that situation? So I kind of am hearing them rustling around and stuff as I'm opening some blinds and windows and stuff and kind of getting up, and then I hear them walk past my front door, and I'm like, oh no, this is really, really getting close. Well, it turned out, and I don't know where they actually ended up, but they didn't, and this happens frighteningly a lot, they didn't really have a good handle on what the apartment numbering was. So they're kind of like wandering around, and I didn't hear anything, and I didn't walk out to be like, hey, I would like to tell you guys how to do your job. Here's where you need to go. We've got apartment people for that. If they need to find somebody, I think that system should go. And again, they're not like sirens blaring. This didn't appear to be a we're coming to reestablish an airway or anything like that. It seemed to be a more procedural, maybe under control type deal. I hope, or too late. But the attitude did not seem to be screaming and yelling and running into action. It was very, very measured and very calm. But it seemed close at first, and then moved on. So anyway, I ended up kind of being started a bit earlier and off the. Not that I know a lot of people like kind of lean on their routine, as an excuse for like just generally being a jerk. I find, and maybe that's unfair to a lot of people, but and it's certainly it's not everybody, but a lot of times you'll be just like, oh, I'm gonna totally be a jerk to everybody I see today, and I'm just gonna say, oh, I got terrible, I didn't get good sleep last night. I'm like, no, don't make other people's misery your goal because things didn't go your way. Try extra hard to be aware of the attitude that you're portraying. Put in that little bit of extra effort. So I'm going to try to do that as I record, however much I record today. I'm not sure, and that's the nice thing about having a little recording flexibility here. I don't have to decide, all right, I'm going to do 6 videos today, and they're all going to be this. We can kind of come and do sheep and carpet that wing and see if we get any ghasts spawning above the carpet. We can find other stuff to do that doesn't require a ton of creativity and has fun in this world. That's part of what I love about Minecraft. Within your world, even when it's hardcore, you can decide, hey, I'm not exactly feeling on my A game, but I don't have to go fight the Wither. I don't have to go in situations that are going to destroy me, or at least make it likely that I would be destroyed. The worst part here is I'm saying all this, and I'm running around shearing these sheep, and I've bred them again. It's the blue that we need. We should really be staying close and focusing on those guys. So anyway, my attitude is going to be that no matter how unrested I feel, I'm thrilled to be here with you guys, and I hope you're enjoying it. And I'm gonna put effort into that mentality and maintaining it. I'm not just gonna. Man, it was awful. All these noises. I just never got more than like an hour sleep at a time. Terrible quality sleep. Blah 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 blah. Nah, it happened. I'm a big boy though. How many times you guys know that you like stay up late because whatever, you want to watch a show, you're reading a good book and just can't stop. You're into like the last 100 pages and everything's coming together, so there's no way you're putting it down now. Or you procrastinated that paper for school or that project for work. Wow. And now the deadline is due. Procrastination is getting paid back, and you're in arrears. So yeah, we'll all get through it. So maybe without the I don't think I put any in. Maybe I have a stack. All right, dude. Listen. This is dicey. Oh, drip leaf. That's new. Yeah. Okay. Chill there. Darn. We're going for drip leaf. Drip leaf, drip leaf. Oh yeah, this is gonna help. I don't know anything about drip leaf really, except that it's new. And it's one, I think the azaleas as well you get from the Wandering Trader, which I'm really looking forward to. I love azaleas. You haven't even been inside. All right, you chill there. Don't go crazy. Don't scare S'more. S'more, that's a horse. We're not getting more than a stack. I don't think. Otherwise, we'll have another frantic horse ride. Well, this is awesome. This is kind of saving our day. The game heard me. It was like, oh, man, you're a little flat. All right, well, we'll give you what you've been looking for. And we really have been watching for the Wandering Trader for a long time. Since 17 came out. We'd had one previously, and he didn't give us anything new. So this is exciting times indeed. Yeah, we're going to have to work on that. I think we must have had a creeper there at some point. Don't you go running away. Hey. 10? That's all we get is 10? I was hoping for a little bit more than that, Mr. Wandering Trader. I'm going to be honest with you. Bucket of pufferfish? What do I want a bucket of pufferfish for? Use that in like a trap or something? I don't think it's worthwhile. That's just baffling. I think we have a lot of slimes too, right? Alright, let's see. Do you refresh? I never buy them out of anything anyway. Yeah, I don't. See. Well, thank you. It's awesome we got drip leaf. I don't know what to do with drip leaf. What do we do with drip leaf? It's tougher when you, as far as I know, you can only get this from him. And hang on one second. 40 minutes. And it doesn't occur naturally, but I think it's a part of the Caves and Cliffs update, right? So the deep caves that they're still working on will have some of these, vegetated underground chambers, and some of those will be drift leaves. So I think they kind of behave like um, vines, but I really don't know. Um, Here, let's go. Let's use this cave. Did we ever finish up under here? Their lighting? Sorta. Okay, far enough. I don't want to waste this, but I also kind of want to... Okay, this is as good a thing as any if they're going to be upside down. Side. Nope. So I was trying to click on those. Nothing there. Huh. Were those there? Very strange. I don't know what to do on the drip leaf. Again, not to worry. Well, it's kind of part of the fun is experimenting and figuring out what it goes on. Ooh. Got my bed. Okay, so nothing in the caves seemed to go. Do they just need like... Nope, nothing up here. Not completely forget these guys. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Get more blue wool. So we have both Podzol and whatchamacallit, the other one from the Mushroom Island biome. I don't know if either of those are needed, or if it's like some prepared soil type deal. If they have to grow off moss, we still have yet to get moss too. I don't know. Let's go get all these white sheep again. I am glad we have it. I just am realizing I really haven't seen anything on that. I've tried to, like, if somebody I've subscribed to or, watch regularly saying, like, oh, I'm going to do a moss demo or azaleas and some of those kind of things. I've said, I've gone in and commented and said, hey, just dropping the like. I enjoy your stuff, but I'm not going to watch this until I've had a chance to go kind of, figure it out a little bit on my own. And then once I throw in the towel and say I'm stuck, that's when I'll be back to watch. So I know there's resources out there, but I really haven't even seen a bit. Some of the others, depending on, if it's like a live streamer or something I'm watching, at this point, I'm like, oh, okay, they're going after geodes. I said the other day after we worked so hard to establish the little blooms and get the buds growing, so we could harvest those. I then watched and was like, oh yeah, if you just use night vision over the water, you're gonna find them so much quicker and just fly, harvest everything, and you'll get a ton more of the building block amethyst than you would the other way. Plus, you're getting all the smooth. And what I'd said there in my response is, I kind of want to do a dual approach. I want to find an area where we have a cluster of 3 or 4 that would all be loaded the whole time I'm around. Like pick a central spot that they're all in range of, either above and below each other, however, and then get them to where all those are the ones we're farming if we want to grow the crystals, and then every other one we find, we just silk touch the whole thing. Take all the various blocks, get the calcite, get the smooth basalt, get all the various amethyst blocks. I think that's the good way. You can still leave those the blooming blocks or whatever they are in place. If you touch those, they're gonna break and be gone. So you might as well just leave them out there, and then, if you happen to go by one of those spots, you can just, all right, harvest it and get a few extra. But it would seem that the travel and harvest method is probably going to be best. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what to do with this drip leaf stuff. I thought it was, it was kind of like the idea of cave vines without having to use the jungle vine stuff. Something that would grow down. That's the drip bit, right? But I'm relying on the one video that they showed. Was it middle of the last summer when they were saying, yeah, pandemic, hey, here we are, but here's the preview we're going to give you of Cliffs and Caves, what we've been working on and what we want to bring. And that was when they showed the copper and the bags and all the other goodies, that half of which we now know. So I just remember like the rafting in the caves and the water there. And it was more, oh, look at the warden thing, right? And like, oh, what's that going to be? That's the new boss. And you kind of get distracted with the flash and all these other little things, kind of like, oh, that looks cool at the moment, and then you move on. So you guys need to hurry up, because that's not enough. I don't think. What? Yeah. I think we need at least a stack. Let's just go in this pen. Hang out. Check the time again. 12 minutes, 11 minutes. You guys, do your thing. Let's get some more carpet. So as I said, kind of turbulent night last night. Not an excuse, just kind of to inform you guys. I'd sort of planned before that. I was like, oh, this is shaping up. It looks like today's the day to knock out a bunch of videos and just kind of set up that I knew, it was likely we were going to do this hike thing tomorrow on Friday. And I kind of thought, all right, if I can set this up and have enough, a couple for today, a couple for tomorrow already queued up and ready, then no matter what my Friday is, between Friday and Saturday, I'll have time to at least get one that I can then put up on Saturday, right? Keep the flow going, and then, at some point, you just kind of build up this this ongoing queue. My problem is, if I don't have stuff going on, I want to be playing for you guys. I want to keep this world going, and I don't like then just stacking them up. It ends up being like, all right, get ready, because on Tuesday there's going to be a dozen videos dropping because I've been recording these, but I already had others scheduled out that far. Yeah, so we'll see how it all plays out. Like I said, I'd like to get a couple in here, I think. And then I don't know. I've got a couple things I got to do out and about here this afternoon, and then maybe I'm a bad napper, but maybe I crash for a little bit and then come back in the evening and try to do a couple more for Friday, so I don't have those hanging over my head. Can enjoy my day, and then if Friday afternoon, evening, I get some more downtime, can roll up another few to get me out through the holiday. Because again, I don't know exactly what the holiday is going to look like this year for me. But I don't want to. Hey guys, I really feel obligated. I got to get a video out. I don't want it to become that. It's not that big a deal. There's no obligation on my part to have one every day. I hope you guys are looking forward to those as much as I'm looking forward to making them, and I want to keep a steady stream out there. So we'll see what happens. How many we got now? This is the worst method. Just standing around watching and waiting. Oh, I do not advocate this at any point in any activity in your life. Try to maximize what you're doing. If you know you've got something going on that you're working on, try to find some little something to do alongside it that keeps your progress building on itself, no matter what that is. The one that I always think to myself and advocate, and honestly, I'm okay with it. I like myself. I've got good self-confidence, but I've always been enough of that geek that, if I knew I was like, say, going to the DMV, right? That's always my example, because you always know going in, it's not going to be quick, right? The only time it's been quicker than I ever expected was in the middle of the pandemic when I had to go renew my license. And I hadn't even thought about it in the midst of the pandemic. I actually got carded. I was buying some beer, and the girl asked for my ID, and it goes back far enough. I didn't have beard or anything like that, so I was pretty clean cut in all this. But well, it was during the pandemic, so yeah, I must have had some, but for whatever reason, she's like, "Oh, I need to see your ID." All right, so I pull it out, and here you go. Nice to be carded. She looks at it. She's like, you do know this has been expired for like 2 months, right? I was like, what? Seriously? Totally spaced that my license was out of, and it has been for years, been out of sequence, right? So like, I don't know, you get your license at 16, and you move, you keep going through and renews like on your birthdays, so it makes sense, right? Like every 5 years that you need to get a new license card, and they you got to talk to all your friends. Well, that only works if you've always lived in the same state, and a lot of my friends here have lived here forever, so they kind of all have the, oh yeah, well, what do you mean your license is renewing at a different clip? Well, because I didn't get it here when I was 16. I got it here when I was, whatever, 22 or something. I think I was in school. But whatever, it's off cycle. So I didn't have any reminders, didn't have any reason to look at my ID. I mean, last year I hardly drove, much less went out anywhere where you'd have to show an ID. Did they go over the bed while I was asleep? That's what happened. I told you, this is why we're not building today. I'm not I'm not trying to keep the uh, slow build game alive. I just knew, I was like, my brain is not ready yet. I already had a couple cups of coffee, and they didn't do anything. Just so you know, we are at minimal capacity on the brain function. All right, come here, dude. Stop. Stop. Come here. Hey. Two little runaways. I guess it's better that they went out this way. If I'd put that bed up against the other pen, then I'd have to be sorting them. Are you going to be trouble too? I'll lead you too. I'm not scared. Alright, you two are still good. This is what I just talked about with the always make yourself double wide gates. Come on. Oh no, don't. It is just so much easier to do that than it is to try to, okay, now I don't need the weed anymore. Now we're back to shearing. Whew, well that was, I was just looking like, where did half my sheep go? What? Yeah, while we were asleep. Alright, now 57 minutes. I think we're close enough. We'll try to wrap this one up and get right down to an hour on this one. In the next episode, I expect we will take whatever blue we've gathered, run that out to the nether, finish up that chamber, and try to begin to validate whether or not we have a spawnable ghast area. And I may, we'll probably do that before I do any looking. So we'll probably kind of forget about or put on hold the drip leaves. Drip bush? Whatever. Leaves? Drip something. Those new cool drip thingies. We'll probably hold off on those because I'm not going to go do any research or anything like that. But when I do come back, we'll give the ghast a chance to surprise and amaze us. Hopefully we see some, and then we know, hey, we're rock stars. We got ourselves a little ghast chamber. If they aren't showing up through that, we're just going around and around and around. No luck. No evidence that it's working. At that point, before I do this whole sheep thing again, harvest and gather another chamber, at that point I'll go check and just see if we're wasting our time. If it says that ghasts must have a full block below them, not carpet or something, then we know we don't need to waste all that time on the next one. I don't want to put myself through that, much less you guys. But it's a fun thing to do, and that's why I like to go try to do these things myself first. If it doesn't work out, cool. We won't bang our head against the wall trying to, this is the way it should work. I'm going to keep doing it. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But that's what I anticipate for the next one. We'll go back into another. So we'll probably do a little bit more shearing here just to get enough blue carpet that we're confident we have plenty to finish up. I think what we had to do, the inner ring, I don't even know. We need a bunch of blue. So we'll keep working on those sheep a little bit. I need to save that. Did I ever get a screenshot? Hang on. See, this is how we end up with full-length plus episodes instead of abbreviated ones. Okay. Just had to check. Oh, come on. There you go. F1. Come here. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, come on. Turn back around. Alright, that's enough. I don't know how many we ended up with there, but we should, now I gotta save the game again. We should have lots to get the thumbnail out of, and we won't have to get shulker boxes from Yahoo. Yahoo? YouTube. I'm gonna get away and go take care of some of my real world business and stuff, and then come back, see if maybe we're a little more awakened with it next time around. But you guys take care. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the views, the likes, the comments, all the great stuff you guys have been doing. Keep the feedback coming, and let me know if you've got ideas. What do you think of the turrets so far? Again, we're thinking some kind of roofs on those, and then replicating whatever we come up with on the other three sides. We may do the replication part. We may not get any further with the visual, but we may do the three other sides and see if we have something that works, and then we can just figure out roofs and in the center of the tower stuff later. So that's the plan. You guys have a good little break. If you've got more videos ahead of this one, hey, dive right in. But do give yourself a few minutes before that to maybe step outside, at least get up, move around a little bit before you sit back down again. Stay awesome. Take care of yourselves and one another. We'll see you back here. Bye now.